Alright, what's up guys? The D here. I've got a video today on Dungeon Fighter Online. It's an older game, it's been out for quite some time. It's kind of in its own unique class of genre. It's a side-scroller beat-em-up slash ARPG slash MMO. And there may be some increased interest in this game. I felt the urge to go back and check it out after playing in the DNF Duel Beta. It's got a lot of really cool character classes, and the fighting in it, the combat, is very flashy and over the top. If you like 2D hand-drawn art and sprites, this may be a game worth checking out for you. So, a couple things going into it. When I first played this game many years ago, it was being run by Nexon, and it was a completely different game than what it is now. At the time, it was very pay to win. Years ago when I first checked it out, you could buy all of these different cosmetics and skins that gave you absurd amounts of stats compared to what you could get off normal gear, and what you got in terms of power and progression from spending money was just incredibly pay to win. It really turned me off to the game. So coming into it, that was one thing I was a little wary of, but I'm happy to say that doesn't appear to be the case anymore. I haven't quite reached max level. I'm in the mid 80s, and I'm playing a male striker. Just from what I've seen, it's supposedly one of the lower tier classes, but I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'm not too worried about tier lists. Up to this point, I've not spent a dime on this game. I'm playing completely free to play. I started just before New Year's on probably December 30th or 31st. So I've been playing for roughly 2 weeks, and I'm almost to max level. It's definitely worth checking out if you haven't played it in a long time, or if you've never played it. So let's just talk a little bit about the game in its current state. So there are a lot of events. You can see this is one here with the Christmas event, and you can get a lot of either items that are very powerful cosmetics, pets, like little creature following me around here, other items that you can typically only get through the cash shop. So just by playing the game, you have access to a lot of things that you typically can just get through spending a little bit of money. There's also this mileage shop here, which is just mileage you get from playing the game, and you can purchase stuff with it. I haven't actually used any of my mileage so far. In terms of other things you can get on the cash shop, you can't even buy all the avatars. I'm not exactly sure where you get some of them, but you can purchase avatars with gold. And there is some stats you can gain from avatars, but the way it works, from my limited understanding, is that the avatars have like sockets in them, and then you socket these items that you find throughout the game into them for some stat boosts. That may not be entirely how it works, but that's just my rough understanding of it. And there's a lot of other things in this game. There's a couple of mini like auto battle games that you get rewards from, and some of them are kind of fun. My favorite is this one that's called Monster Coliseum, and it's kind of like a collectible game. You collect different monsters, and then you battle them through a story mode, and you can battle in a ranked mode or just face other people's setups. And you get the monsters and you combine them to make more powerful versions up to 5 stars, and you get to select a ability or a passive skill from each level that it gets from 1 to 5. So it's kind of fun and interesting, and you get rewards from it. And then there's also all of these other events here that you get rewards from. They're, you know, a lot of the stuff I've got so far, I'm not even exactly sure what all of it is used for, but I'm just kind of hanging on to it until I find a use for it. There are over 60 different classes, so it has a lot of replayability in that sense if you like checking out different classes with very different play styles and different themes. As you level up, you sort of have an account-based level as well that gives you bonus stats and access to different things to help you level up more quickly. So all in all, I'm having a lot of fun in this game, and I would recommend checking it out if you're kind of bored and don't really have anything else you're playing right now. It's completely free to play, so you don't really have anything to lose from checking it out. So if you've played DNF Duel and you're kind of interested in checking out the original, give this game a shot. And once I get to the end game, I'll definitely make an update on this and give you my thoughts on the end game. Max level right now is 100, so I've been leveling, it's taken me about 2 weeks to get to level 80. There's a fatigue system in the game for each individual character. After you run so many dungeons on that character, you either need a potion to restore your fatigue points to continue running them. If you pay for the premium version of the game, which I believe is like $9.99 a month, for a month's worth of the premium, you get extra fatigue points for each character, as well as some other bonuses, but not 100% sure what all of them are. And you get extra fatigue points for each character, as well as some other buffs. But it takes just straight running quests on my main character. It takes me an hour or two at least to use up all my fatigue points. So if you want to play more than that, all you have to do is make an alt, and you can keep running dungeons on your alt. And with having so many characters in this game, different classes with the account-wide system, etc., it definitely makes sense to do it. I've already made 3 or 4 alts, and I don't use all the fatigue points on them. Typically, I don't even use all the fatigue points on my main character, just so you have an idea of how long it takes you to get to close to the max level. I haven't even been using... There's some days where I just run, maybe a third to half of my fatigue points and call it a day. So if you were really dedicated and you were wanting to hit max level, it would be easier to do it quicker than I have. So it's definitely a fun game, guys. I would recommend checking it out. There are a lot more Dungeon Fighter titles in the works right now. They've got what's basically the sequel to this game in development right now, and it still is going to play like the side-scrolling 2D beat-em-up style, but it's got updated 3D cel-shaded graphics from the look of it. And there's another game coming out that looks like it's going to be similar to Genshin Impact, if you're familiar with that game. And then, of course, we've got the DNF Duel fighting game coming up, which, honestly, that is one of the biggest fighting games I'm looking forward to in the coming future, because all of the classes in this game are really cool, and I think will translate perfectly into a fighting game, which makes perfect sense since this game was designed as a 2D side-scrolling game where the PvP was basically like a fighting game. So definitely check out some of these games that are coming out that are based off this, and check out the original if you're interested, especially if you like DNF Duel and the character designs and the classes. You kind of get an idea of what to expect also from KNF Duel, because you can see how much content they have that they could add into the game in terms of other characters and classes. There's already a huge roster that they have to draw from, so I could definitely see them coming up with or adding in every character to that game if it's popular enough, because the content is there. And I'm gonna recommend you guys try this game out. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys will consider looking into this game. It's a lot. I'm having a lot of fun, and I haven't spent a dime yet. So guys, that's all I've got, and remember to give them the D.